Today we're going to create a cinematic 3D motion documentary style video. In this tutorial you'll learn how to build a complete 3D workflow from scratch. We'll cover how to optimize your 3D setup for performance, how to convert 2D assets into 3D scenes, and how to create a professional looking motion sequence without any extra plugins. First, open the Fusion panel. In the media pool we have some PNG images. We'll use these to create our 3D documentary style animation. Now go to the playback menu at the top. Open proxy handling and select Prefer Proxies. Here are 3 important settings that will keep your 3D workflow smooth and prevent system lag. Go to Master Settings. Set the proxy media resolution to half of the original. Then click Save. Now select all the PNG images in the media pool. Right-click, go to Proxy Media and click Generate Proxy Media. This will convert all images into proxies. Now let's create the 3D scene setup. Add a Renderer 3D node and connect it to the Media Out node. Then add a Camera 3D node and a Merge 3D node. Connect the Merge 3D node to the Renderer 3D node. Then connect the Camera 3D node to the Merge 3D node. Our basic 3D setup is now ready. Now drag your first PNG from the media pool. Connect it with an Image Plane 3D node. Then connect the Image Plane 3D to the Merge 3D node. Open the Merge 3D node in the left viewer. We will use this image as the background for our 3D animation. Select the Camera 3D node. On the right side, set the focal length to 70. Now select the Image Plane 3D node. Adjust the image according to the camera. Go to Transform. Set the scale to 1.26. Now, while watching the right viewer, adjust the camera position so the image fits properly in the frame. Next, add a blur node between the Media In and Image Plane 3D. Set the blur size to 3. Now we will duplicate the background. Copy the Media In, Blur and Image Plane 3D nodes. Paste them and connect to the Merge 3D node. Move this duplicated image to the right side on the X-axis. Now you'll notice a visible line between the images. This creates a background jump. To fix this, add a Transform node. Enable horizontal flip in the controls. Now both images blend smoothly. Duplicate the background one more time using the same method. Move this one to the left side. Make sure all images align properly. This will help avoid issues during camera movement. Now go back to the media pool. Drag the stone pillar PNG. Connect it with an Image Plane 3D node. Then connect it to the Merge 3D node. Place the pillar on the left side where the camera movement will begin. Go to Transform. Reduce the scale and adjust its position. Now we'll match its color with the background. Press Ctrl plus space and add a color corrector node. Reduce the saturation to 0. Then lower the brightness. But you'll notice this also affects the background. So first reset the settings. Now select the color corrector again. Press Ctrl plus space and add a matte control node. Enable Post Multiply Image. Now go back to the color corrector. Set saturation to 0. And brightness to -0.194. Now the stone pillar matches perfectly with the background. Next, go to the media pool and drag the Roman soldier PNG. Connect it with an Image Plane 3D node. Then connect it to the Merge 3D node. Place it behind the stone pillar. Go to Transform and adjust its position and scale. Now readjust the stone pillar if needed according to the composition. To match colors, copy the color corrector and matte control nodes. Paste them with the Roman soldier. Reset the brightness. Then slightly reduce it to match the scene. Now it blends naturally. Move the camera slightly to the right. This is where we will place the next image. Drag the next PNG from the media pool. Connect it the same way as before. Copy the color corrector and matte control nodes from the previous image. Apply them here so all images maintain consistent color. Adjust its position and scale. Before adding the next image, copy all nodes of this image. Paste them. Delete the Media In node. Then drag a new image from the media pool and connect it. Connect the Image Plane 3D to the Merge node. Now adjust its position and scale just like the previous ones. At this stage, most of your time will go into scene placement. When you try it yourself, it will take time too. But don't worry, it's simple with practice. Now our full 3D scene is almost ready. Next, we'll move to motion line animation. First, duplicate the Merge 3D node. Paste it here and connect it to the previous node. Now add a background node. Connect it with an Image Plane 3D node. Then connect this setup to the new Merge 3D node. Next, add a polygon node. and connect it to the background node. Open the background node in the left viewer. Now draw a line shape. You can create a curve like this. After drawing, smooth the corners using the smooth tool. Adjust the curve slightly so it looks clean. Increase the border width a little. Now select the background node. On the right side, change the type to gradient. Pick your first color. Click OK. Then choose the second color. Click OK. Increase the border width a bit more to make the line clearly visible. Now open your main Merge 3D node in the left viewer again. You'll see the line inside your 3D scene. Position this line behind your characters. Right now the line is too small, so we need to scale it. Select the image plane 3D node of the line. Go to Transform and increase the scale. Make sure the size matches your background, so the animation can run smoothly from start to end. Because of scaling, the line shape may shift. Select the polygon node again. Adjust the curve to fix the alignment. Now slightly reduce the border width for a better look. Now reduce the length of the line. Set it so the line starts from the beginning. Select the camera 3D node. Move the playhead to frame 50. Go to Transform and add a keyframe on the x-axis. Now move to frame 150. Push the camera to the right side towards the second image. Move to frame 220. Add another keyframe on the x-axis. Then go to frame 230. Add one more keyframe. Now move to frame 300. Push the camera further right towards the third image. You can adjust this movement according to your own scene and characters. Now for zoom animation. Move to frame 310. Add a keyframe on the z-axis. Go to the last frame. Slightly zoom in using the z-axis. Select the polygon node. Move to frame 0. Add a keyframe on length. Go to frame 50. Increase the length so it reaches the first image. Move to frame 60. Add another keyframe. Now go to frame 150. Increase the length further. Move to frame 230. Add another keyframe. Finally, go to frame 300. Increase the length to complete the full line animation. Select the camera 3D node. Open the Spline editor. Enable the camera 3D controls. Click Fit to Zoom. Select manually keyframes. Smooth them to create a natural motion. Once done, turn off the Spline editor. Now let's enhance our motion line. We will give it a more detailed and cinematic look using an emboss effect. Go to the Effects panel at the top. Search for Hope's Bevel. Now connect it to your motion line node setup. You'll see the line now has more depth and a refined edge look instead of a flat shape. Now go into the settings of the bevel effect. Slightly increase the sharpness to make the edges more defined. This will help the line look more premium and 3D-like. Next, duplicate the bevel node. Connect the second bevel again into the same motion line setup. Now the line will gain even more depth and separation, making it visually stronger. Our motion line looks much more polished, clean, and cinematic. It now blends perfectly with the overall 3D documentary scene. Now go to the Edit page. We will create our titles here. Open the Titles panel and add a Text Plus node above your composition. Now go into the text box and type your first title. I am typing Roman here. Now change the font. I will select a clean bold font. Increase the size of the text. Click on the color box and change the color. I will choose a dark red color. Click OK. Now click on the Fusion tab above the text box. This will open the text inside the Fusion page. Right-click the text node and add follower. Go to the Modifiers panel. Open Transform. Add keyframes on offset X and Y. Now open Follower 1. Move the playhead to frame 10. Add another keyframe on offset. Go back to the first keyframe. Move the text slightly downward on the Y-axis. Now go to Shading. Set opacity to 0 and add a keyframe. Move to frame 10 again. Increase opacity back to full. Now go to Timing Settings. Increase the delay amount for a more dynamic reveal. Change order from automatic to left to right. This creates a beautiful staggered text animation effect. You can further increase delay for a more cinematic appearance. Now go back to the Edit page. We will enhance the text look. Go to Effects and search for Hope's Bevel. Apply it to the Text Plus node. Now the text has more depth and a cinematic embossed feel. Increase the sharpness slightly for better definition. Now go to the Video Inspector. Adjust size and tracking of the text. Then go to Layout and position the text properly in the frame according to your composition. Now duplicate the text layer using Alt plus drag. Place it above the first text layer. Change the second text to Soldier. Adjust font, size, color, and position the same way. For time efficiency, I'm speeding up this part. You can easily repeat these steps. Now align the text with your camera movement. Move the playhead to the point where the camera shifts to the second image. Cut both text layers at that point. Now trim the end of each text layer and create a simple fade out by dragging the edges inward. Do the same for the second layer. Now hold Alt and duplicate both text layers forward in time. Place them where the second image appears. Repeat the same process for the third text as well. Just change the names and adjust timing according to the scene. At this point, your full 3D documentary style animation is complete. You can now preview the final cinematic output. And that's how you can create a full 3D documentary style animation inside DaVinci Resolve. From building the scene, to animating the camera, to adding motion lines and text, you've now learned the complete workflow. If you found this helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more motion graphics tutorials. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.